Hey everybody, this is your girl Lotus J, and we are live at the Vibe. This is High Vibe Media and Marketing Group, and this is our Tuesday show, The Blaquer The Berry. That is so scripted now. You know what? I never even scripted that out, but that is literally what I say every single week, exactly like that.
That's okay.
That's so funny.
You're making it stick.
But you know what? I'm just such a routine person that when I get set into a routine, that's just what I do. But anyway, hey everybody!
You trying to go off routine?
Yes, I gotta break it up a little bit. Okay, so let's go around the table. What's up, Queen Solar? What's happening?
Woo, a lot.
Oh my God, your butt just be so woo.
You have to listen. I'm black. I appreciate who I am.
Okay.
So we say, woo, girl. Let me tell you.
Okay, well
it could be a good woo, or it could be a bad woo.
Okay, well tell us.
Oh, I just chilled this weekend.
Okay.
I had I just relaxed because I had so much going on, like during the
Prepping
week.
for school and all of that stuff.
All of that.
So how'd that go? First day back to school. How was that for the children?
It was fun for me. The children, I guess they had a good day.
What do you mean it was fun for you? Why was it fun for you?
Because, the first day is always like a fluff day.
Oh, okay.
Like, no one does.
Getting to know the new students and all that stuff.
Oh, I'm so proud of myself because I learned a lot of names, which is really in one day. And that's not.
Let's see if you know them again by the end of the week.
Oh.
You had the same students every day?
Yeah.
So tomorrow, so you had those students yesterday and today? Mm-hmm. And you remember their names today?
Only first period.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about.
You got like the little nameplates? The little name cards?
They're too old for that.
What grade? You doing middle school this year?
This is 6th grade.
Oh, okay. Oof.
Yeah. But you know what? There's some sweethearts. This bunch they're sweet.
Okay, that's good.
Or at least the ones that I'm
She says on
with.
day 2.
Right.
It's only day
Let's say
2.
next week. Let's check in around Thanksgiving.
Right. Oh, them kids.
Ask me after first semester.
After the first 3 weeks.
Right. But that's cool, though. That's cool.
They aight.
No, we're going to send positive vibes. They're good kids.
Please.
What's the schedule? Is it like super early or like how early does let's walk in the footsteps of a teacher. How early does the day start for you?
Technically the day should start about 7:30 because school starts at about 8:20.
No. What time does your day start?
At 8 o'clock.
No. What time you get up?
Oh, you mean what time?
I know.
Gosh. Okay, so I get up at 6 o'clock.
Oh, okay, that ain't too bad.
It's not. I really should get up earlier because I rush, get my children to school late.
But I know you probably prep the night before, don't you?
A little bit. Yeah. Not a whole lot, a little bit. But yeah, I rush, get my children to school. Sometimes they on time, sometimes they late. I get to work. Sometimes I'm on time, sometimes I'm a little late.
This is just day 2.
Day 1 was great. Day 2 we was tired.
Oh, okay. From day 1.
Yeah.
Because it was day 1.
Right. We got tired.
Okay.
But once everybody made it to where they needed to be, everything was good.
Okay.
Everything was good.
All right.
Oh, except for the first day, I gotta tell y'all this. The first day, I didn't leave work until 5:45, and I'm gonna tell you why.
Why?
Cause the buses was late. It was this one bus that wanted to be extra late, and then when the bus came, we still missed the bus. Yeah, so
who rides the bus?
The students. The students right there.
Oh, you mean yesterday evening, it was late picking them up.
Yeah, they was.
Oh, okay.
They were late picking them up. A child got on the bus. They weren't supposed to. Their parents were looking for them.
Oh, my God, that would
And
freak
then
me
they had
out.
to call
I went
the
through that.
police. It was a whole lot. Like, yesterday was horrible. Dismissal, it was horrible.
Oh, my goodness, I forgot I went through that. I told that.
Which one was it, Miss Lowe?
Wait a minute. Where is my child?
Look, I know you did.
Y'all know I clown, too. Oh, I clown.
Look, somebody gonna answer for this.
Oh, I clowned. I did.
I walk in the office, they like, do you have a picture, ma'am? I was like, whoa, wait.
Of somebody else's child.
Yeah, like you need a picture of the child. This is serious.
Well, you're the co-parent. You're supposed to have
Right.
a picture. You're co-parent.
No, not me. No, this was somebody else's child.
teachers are co-parents. You're supposed to know.
But was it one of your students?
No, I didn't even know. I couldn't even begin to even imagine what the child may have looked like.
Well, all I know is I had a dang on meltdown when that happened to me. Okay, let's keep it going. Hey, Jana. This is Jana, y'all. These are my two nieces. I adopted them. They really not, but I adopted them.
No, I'm official. You've cooked for me. So
yes. Oh, Miss, you gotta come get a meal, so you'll be official too.
We a package deal, so it's like a BOGO.
So you kind of ate what she ate. Got you.
It's a BOGO. Once you get one, you got both. So
that's pretty much how that go too.
Nice.
What's going on, Misha? How was your weekend? I mean, Jana. How was your weekend?
Let me think back. I think it was good. I went to go see what's the Samuel L. Jackson movie? Hitman's Bodyguard.
Oh, I don't know nothing about it.
Yeah, I watched it. It was
Is
fun.
it good?
Mm-hmm. I recommend it.
What is it called?
Hitman's Bodyguard.
It's a Jackson movie?
So Samuel L. Jackson is hitman.
Oh, Samuel. Okay.
I can imagine him playing something like that.
Yeah, I can
It's
too.
a good movie. I recommend it.
I'm a fan of his, though. So
I am
yeah.
too. Like, it feels like his crazy is so natural. So
Mm-hmm.
it was
He
fun.
probably crazy for real.
Can
He
I
probably
ask you
crazy for
something?
real.
How many black people are in the movie? I'm just curious.
Samuel L.
If I wanna see it.
Jackson.
is it over 10? Is it 10 or less?
Like is it
like the express lane? If it's 10 or less, then it probably won't meet the quota.
Well, he's one of the main characters, so I didn't even count. But he's a main character. So.
Who does that, though, anyway?
No, I didn't even think about it.
No. You don't have to just count it. You just kind of like when you
Right.
I'm leaving. You
Right.
got your refunds. It was only 7.
That's kind of like how many? It's kind of like once a hockey game. Like how many?
That's
people
funny.
are there?
Yeah, I just want to know,
How many
like,
people
is
in
it
the audience?
like, do I really want to go see this movie? You know?
I mean, it was entertaining.
Okay, so what else you do over the weekend?
Of course, I ate. Y'all know I love food.
This chick said, of course I ate.
Y'all know I love food.
I'm glad you
She said, of course, okay, I'm glad you ate.
Okay, let me think. What did I eat? I
Some
I
pork
went to go see
chops.
my niece. You know, that's my baby. So I went to go see her. We went to Texas Roadhouse, and I had the roadkill. It was really good.
What is that?
It's a chopped steak,
Squirrel?
10 ounce.
Oh,
Oh.
God.
It's
Ugh.
good. Yeah, it
I'm
was really
thinking
good.
possum, squirrel.
Well, see,
This is when you should choose names wisely that are associated with food.
Right.
Because mentally, you got something that was disgusting,
well,
right?
Texas
Right.
Roadhouse has a theme, so you know. So I had the roadkill. It was good. So I hung out with my niece. You know, that's my baby.
How old is your niece?
20.
Oh, okay.
But I kind of
You ain't but 2 days older than that.
I'm thinking she like 5.
My baby.
I know. Well, you know, when they're born.
Yeah, I
she's
get
always
it.
the baby, so I feel for my kids when I have my kids because she's so jealous. She's the only grandchild right now.
Oh, yeah.
And so she told me for a long time that I couldn't have kids. So then she was like, "You already have a daughter. You know what? I guess you can have a kid, but it has to be a boy." So I kind of worry about my kids when I have them.
Your children will be just fine, and she will spoil them.
I hope
Yeah.
she does.
She will. She 20. She'll get over it.
I don't know.
Look,
I don't know. I can't answer. I need to meet her first. I need to see her.
She's so
like,
charming, though. You'll love her. So I hung out with her. I went to go spend some time with Mom. You know, I try to do that all the time. I stopped by there before I came here today. So
Okay.
I'm going to go back and change a light bulb tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
I
For
told her,
your
don't you get
mother.
up there.
Yeah.
I feel like it's important to stay close to her.
That is very important.
And then trying to support my brother because he's doing a Camp Gladiator thing, so trying to support him. Looking forward to going to see my sister this weekend, so I'm going to Houston to do what else? Eat. So it's restaurant month, so I'm looking forward to Eddie V's and what's that other place?
I thought we were going. We scheduled that out. I get out work early Friday.
Hint, hint.
We might be okay. We might.
That's
be able
what
to
they
do that. So we're going to Eddie V's and Texas de Brazil. So yeah.
More food.
Yes.
Oh, God.
More specifically, steak. I know red meat is bad for me, but
Ugh, it's horrible.
Just drink a Coke.
What's that going to do?
That's worse.
It's supposed to. I know, but it's supposed to help break down the beef. I don't know if it's true. I
So
don't know.
It's
stomach
supposed to help
acid
break down
and
your
Coke have the
insides.
same pH. I just don't think you ought to just kind of.
it's supposed to help
sorry.
break down your insides.
All right.
supposed to do.
Miss Misha, what'd you do?
Nothing. I hung out with, like Jenna say, the OG. So I hung out with my mom this weekend and the old lady gang, that being her sisters.
Jana's sisters are the old lady gang?
My mom's sisters are
your
my
aunt.
mom and her sisters
Okay,
are
okay.
the old lady gang. Hung out with them, had a good time.
Okay.
They needed a driver for their shopping experiences. So
Free Uber.
So they don't lose the vehicle in the parking lots. It's a job. It pays with food. So,
Okay.
it's fun, right? So
That's cool.
It's cool. And I had a rough week to get prepared for, so I needed that calm to hang out with the old lady gang.
The week just started. How did you?
It was planned to be rough.
This week coming up?
The next 2 weeks are planned to be
Oh, okay.
challenging.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So I work in manufacturing, so I have 2 certification audits, one this week, one next week. And we had a visit with our VP and the director of manufacturing today, and then it rolls. So that's why it was planned to be.
Okay.
Okay.
Just a little bit.
Somebody's gonna need a drink or 2 or 3.
So what does that mean?
Or 10.
Somebody's
All right, y'all. Well, thanks for coming to hang out with us at the Blaquer The Berry. So what we do is, wow, that's crazy. I'll put up this little picture I didn't want to see. What we do is, my segment, I either do the African proverb or quote. And so you have to either guess who the quote is from or interpret the African proverb. So I've been on quotes lately, so that's what we gonna do. So I'm gonna transform.
Guests are always first. Guests is tradition.
That's really because she don't be wanting to go. That's all that
It is tradition.
She really
here
using y'all
at the Blaquer The Berry. Have our media marketing that we allow the guests.
But
to
we're
go
not
first.
guests, we're family.
Yeah, you're right. So that's why you guys got to go first.
All right, so I am picking my.
But if Daryl was here, he wouldn't care. He wouldn't let y'all go first. Just so y'all know.
Daryl first, lady second.
Mm-hmm. That's right. I hope you heard that, Daryl the G.
All right. So, in lieu of all the drama going on in the United States, this one is easy. I'm going to do 2. This one is the easy one. I always say that, and they'll never get it. But anyway, we'll see.
No.
I know I got it made while the masses of black people are catching hell. But as long as they ain't free, I ain't free. Who said it?
I want to say I heard that this week, but I don't know.
I've never heard that before a day in my
As long
life.
as they ain't free, I ain't free.
Let me read it again. Listen to the language and see who does that sound like. I know I got it made while the masses of black people are catching hell. But as long as they ain't free, I ain't free.
Okay, so my son said, just in case.
Wait, are you letting the guest go first or not? See, this how she do. If she thinks she can get it, she gonna jump and do it. But she says that as like a little warning, because if she don't think she can get it, then she's being hospitable. This the trickery, though.
I need a lifeline.
This the trickery.
Okay, tag.
I need a lifeline.
Oh, you dirty.
Yeah, you do.
You're dirty.
I thought they passed up the opportunity when you ready to.
She jumping in because she thinks she might know it.
I know I feel so dumb when I find it, because I swear I heard that.
I really don't.
Okay,
know it.
go ahead and say you.
Go ahead, ladies. Are you tapping out?
You so funny.
I knew what I was doing. Y'all had tapped out.
Domino was on
beforehand.
you.
Nah, ain't no tap out. Yo, y'all can't even try. Come on.
Because like the interpretation piece is just like, I feel like I may have myself covered, but as long as my people are still fully oppressed, I can't celebrate in my comfort level, is what my interpretation is. And I think I heard the quote, but I just can't remember who said it.
But the point for the quote is who said it.
I know
The African, the African proverb is interpretation.
It was
But you did good though, because at least you these 2 right here.
It was a man though, right?
It's a man.
I know it was a man.
Oops.
You only get that one right. You should tell us.
I'm assuming he was.
Look.
I'm assuming it's a black man.
Oh my God. She said
he may be
Does
mulatto.
he have hair?
Is he mulatto?
Come on now.
Does he have hair?
What was you about to say?
I wasn't about to say nobody. You said it was a man. So
You was? Oh, you was. Who did you think
Is this
though?
the man who died?
The man.
Dick Gregory?
Oh.
Was it Dick Gregory?
No.
The man who died. Only a couple of them have died,
Right.
Darn. I don't know who that is.
Guess. Come on. Y'all ain't nobody guessed one. She
Okay.
guessed Dick Gregory.
Can I get a hint
No.
for 300, please?
Put
Yes.
300 on the table and I give you a hint.
Yes, Alex.
Hell yeah, you can get a hint for 300.
Famous
Break
for
bread.
300, Alex. Famous people for 300, Alex.
This is the Blaquer The Berry version. Break bread. You can get it.
See how she doing?
So do you give her 300 pesos?
All right. I'll give you a hint. You gonna get it. Don't you say nothing. When I get his hint, because he gonna get it.
I gotta guess now.
Okay, what? He probably looked it up, though.
Yeah, he can.
He looking it up.
You probably.
Ali. No, I've been.
He looked it up.
Muhammad Ali. You always
It was.
cheating.
He tried to figure out that. Do y'all see that screen? That's kind of tight, ain't it?
Mm-hmm.
Wait a minute. That was Muhammad Ali.
We got new stuff. Yeah.
That's funny because he did pop up in my mind.
Yeah. She.
No.
Oh my God. Oh,
I promise.
She always say, "Look," and then if Daryl saying, "I was gonna say that."
I promise. He popped up in my mind, but then I was like, nah, she didn't even read it like
are
Muhammad
an
Ali
Aries.
would say it, you know?
I remember hearing it. I don't remember what I was
She is so
watching,
much
but I
like my
did- I
sister.
remember.
She's a what?
Aries. She
Not
act
an
just
Aries.
like my sister.
Aries.
And it's so
Aries.
funny.
Aries.
How you say it?
Shout out to
No,
my
that's
Aries.
a joke. Like it's a DJ that when he was celebrating, he was like, "Any Aries in the
Oh no,
building?"
I'm not. I ain't from Texas. I can't talk. I don't understand.
He's not even from Texas either.
My mouth don't talk country.
Her mouth don't.
Aries.
Aries.
What?
I'm sorry. That was a pet peeve of mine.
Y'all get off my sign.
It's not your sign. It's
Me
him.
and Daryl ain't feeling that.
He ain't here, so he
But
ain't
he
saying
listening.
nothing.
He listening.
Nah, he ain't.
Text, respond to the post.
Yeah, he probably
now
is listening.
on Facebook Live.
better
Let him
be.
know that we don't play.
Well,
when it
he
comes to
kind of
the
better
Aries.
be. Maybe. I don't know though. He got other stuff. All right, so that's my. What you got?
Oh, I have a Black History fact.
Well, let's go.
Y'all like to hear it?
Sure.
Like to hear, here you go.
Here you go. Did y'all know that y'all know who Jack Daniels is, right?
Mm-hmm.
The drink.
Right.
The distillery.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so did y'all know that the guy who actually made the whiskey or taught Jack Daniels how to make whiskey was a black man named Nearest Green?
I did not know that.
I didn't, but it makes sense though.
Why?
'Cause think about it. A lot of their recipes for food came from borrowed or tinkered with items that they got from somebody else. So if you can take the bare scraps of an animal and make it taste amazing, meanwhile they have the leanest,
Tastes so gross.
like the leanest, right? Or they have the top cut. Of course, you'll want to take that. So they've kind of sucked in all of our best practices and remodeled them and rebranded them to
Yep.
something new. So that's not shocking.
I guess it's not really too far-fetched because, as you hear it, now that dang near everything that was created or manufactured, everything pretty much came from somebody black. But what happened is that let me pull out my notes. There was a
I
guy.
like notes.
Yeah, there was a guy who was a preacher. This is so weird to me. He was a preacher. He was he had a distillery. He had a grocery store. And his name was Dan Call. And so it is said that he was the one that actually taught Jack Daniels how to make whiskey. But actually it was his, I hate saying the word slave, the enslaved black man who actually taught. And you will find out just across the South that there were more than just one black man that actually had that skill set and taught different people how to make whiskey. And so it's just not written in the books anywhere.
My friend Stephanie, hey Stephanie. Stephanie and I were talking about this just yesterday. He who has the treasure controls the narrative. And so a lot of, black people and a lot of other people might have done the legwork or created it, but he who has the money is the face of the product. They control what gets out there. They they kind of control that. So a lot of people get lost in history, and forgotten about, which is pretty unfortunate.
Well, let me tell you what, because Jack Daniel's distillery is located in Tennessee, and so what they're doing now, that's it. Yep. So what they're doing now is they're holding tours, and they're actually telling this piece of history, but at the tour guide's discretion. So they're not actually advertising
telling the real.
Well, they're not, because they're telling a history of Jack Daniel's, right? And so they're not actually promoting it a whole lot yet, but they have an in-house historian that found out this information, and they felt like it was something worth to be told. I think they're really trying to change their image and kind of ride the wave of what's going on now.
Yeah, they're managing the message.
Yeah, that's what they're doing. But they're not opening up. They're not just giving it to you. It has to be at the tour guide's discretion, so they can decide to tell it as you take a tour or not. And so they're still trying to find, other instances where this has happened at. But I don't know. I think it's just something that's just new that has been uncovered, and I'm kind of excited about it. But my number one problem with this is that Jack Daniel's has made a lot of money, a lot of money. So just because we know, Nearest Green, basically.
How do you trace his lineage back to see who's entitled to the
proceeds? Like, are y'all gonna break bread with him? Well, he did have what they're saying is there were local people in Tennessee that know this information, and somewhere down the line, I think it was his nephew or like late nephew that used to work at the distillery, but he didn't know much about Nearest Green, and he's still alive. So, but they're not talking about breaking bread. They're just talking about making sure that the public knows the real, true history of Jack Daniel's.
I'm sure they'll say that somebody signed a piece of burlap sack saying you can have the recipe, and that's why I don't have to pay you. So,
right.
I mean, I make a joke about it, but I'm pretty sure something like that'll happen.
Yeah, I think they need to break bread. That's the only way that you can truly, recognize somebody's contribution.
I know where you live.
I know.
It's not going to happen.
I know.
I'm not really even sure if that... I mean, the money aspect would be great, especially to whoever his descendants are. But I think some things are more important to just be stated. So, yeah, the money would be great. How do you break it down? So when Jack Daniel's first started bottling his whiskey, it was probably 3 cents a bottle, right? I mean, so how do you actually go back and get the records? I think it's more important if they gave him the true credit. Where credit is due, because I think those pieces are missing from history. It's the actual credit being given. Like, monetary is fine, it's great. I mean, I'll take a check any day. If I got a great grandfather, we got a check coming, I'll take it. But I think that the credit needs to be paid, needs to be owed. So if we're talking changing labels, if we're talking about changing museums, I think something more permanent other than an initial check being cut to his descendants.
Well, I think there needs to be a lot of different things, but I just can't imagine. I mean, you're probably telling people on your tours, but
some people.
Yeah, but how often, is this going down in the history books? Like,
that's what I'm saying. Like, are you going to give it true credit?
How many people are going to know about this? So...
All right. Well, that is our history fact for the day. We thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Nearest Green. Y'all remember that. That's an interesting name, right? Nearest. Nearest.
How you spell it?
I think it's Nearest. Nearest.
Okay. All right.
Nearest Green.
I just like learning new random things that you just never know. Like, the heavy stuff, the light stuff. I just like learning stuff, Hey, Kaya. That's my niece. She's watching the show and she types in. Hey, so I had to tell my baby, hey, Kaya and Maya. Because if Kaya's there, Maya got to be close by.
Hey, Maya. Kaya.
You remember my nieces? Sharon's daughters?
Yes. Yeah, I do. I was going to say, location, but then I didn't know if that was okay.
Oh, it don't matter.
So, yeah.
Yeah. All right, y'all. So tonight we are talking about loving the skin I'm in. Before I do that, let me get this out of the way. And in the event that we need to take a little break, we're going to listen to some music. But I think I can shake it off. I do have to give a shout out to my brother. Today would have been his 45th birthday. We lost my brother earlier this year, but my brother was truly a phenomenal guy and really one of the. I was so blessed to have such a wonderful family, and I've always been blessed to have, just the men in my life really took care of me, and I'm so grateful for that. So my being spoiled, you have to blame that on my daddy and my brother because they did that. But I don't apologize for that because I think all girls should have that. So I had the world's greatest father and the world's greatest brother, but today I do want to honor my brother, and his name was Clarence Ray Hill II. He had big shoes to fill because my father was just this giant of a human being. But I just wanted to give shout out to my brother because he is owed that. He lived a great life, very, very inspirational life, and he fought extremely hard. He died of kidney failure and, well, ultimately it was heart issues, but it was all related to kidney failure, which originally came from high blood pressure. So the reason I even wanted to bring that up is because in thinking about him and his children, three children, two very young children, I do want to encourage people to stay on top of their health because it impacts everybody in your world. So high blood is nothing to play with. It is nothing to ignore. It plagues our community. So I'm asking that we do a better job, myself included, because I really have an issue with taking care of things that pop up, as they do with everybody. But we cannot live selfish lives. And sometimes our strength, we think it's us being really strong and not going to the doctor and blah, 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 blah. But sometimes it's really kind of selfish because other people have to deal with the consequences. And now he up there kicking it with my mama and daddy, and we down here missing them because they didn't, always handle stuff the way that they should have. So I'm asking us to pay closer attention to what we eat, what we put into our bodies, our level of stress intake. Live life on purpose, as happy as you possibly can, because it has a direct impact on your health, which has a direct impact on your quality of life, your longevity, and then ultimately your family. I am so proud of myself. I got through that like a champ. I'll pat myself on the back because that wasn't easy. But yes, love him to the moon and back. So shout out to my brother Ray. Alright, so tonight we are talking about loving the skin we are in. And the reason that we're doing this topic is for a few different reasons. One, we're seeing everything that's going on in the nation when it comes to color and all those dynamics. So we do need to talk a little bit about that too before we go all the way into the subject, because it's just necessary. It's too big for us not to talk about what's going on in the nation, racial issues and all that. So, but that is part of it though. And then another thing, just as women, which is why you only see women at the table today, we have to learn how to love and appreciate ourselves. And I have struggled with that my entire life. People would not even believe it, but was always in like a shell and bashful and insecure and with my size and all that kind of stuff. And it's a process. However, when you learn to love yourself on the inside, it exudes life on the outside. So, and that brings healing more to just you, but to a community of people, because it can directly impact the way that you interact with people. So, I want to talk about that. But before we get all the way into that subject, let's just do a little bit, just kind of talk a little bit, because it's not the subject for tonight, but it's just too important to not address on a talk show, about y'all's president. Because that fool right there, yes, I said it. I do not apologize. I can't say it.
Oh, Lord.
She writing me notes. She already know. I can't. Number one, I can't see it. So then I'm gonna have to stop and I'm gonna have to read it and blah 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 blah. We're gonna take a quick break so I can hear what she had to tell me instead of trying to figure out what she's trying to say. Give us a couple minutes and we will be right back. Zion Iman, change. That's my boy. Y'all hold tight.
Hey, and this is that underground, that basement shit, yeah. This for my little sister, my mother, first place, and all my brothers, straight up. Oh yeah. Blessings to family. Poverty, let me see honor in those who care for me. The city stuck on my shoulders, I hold it carefully. I do this shit for my soldiers who want the best for me. This is a ghetto melody. Fuck them niggas who slept on me, and fuck them bitches who come and kick it and call me gifted. When I was timid, they acted distant cause I was different. But now you see me growing up and y'all don't wanna miss it. A little ironic, I'm smoking that chronic. Yup, I'm rubbing hypnotic, I'm feeling iconic. Yup. So me and that kid, we gon' get it. Me and Andre, we gon' get it. As long as you stay consistent, as long as you making a difference, as long as you dream, you can wake up and live it. This that new home, back and forth between two homes. Neither one of them yours, but you tell your girl this your new home. Really, she know you're lying, but deep inside you are trying. So when it's your turn to shine, she'll tell you what's yours is mine. Yeah. Really, I'm kidding, no, really, I'm not. Really, I'm stuck, yes, I'm stuck in a box, trying to bite off the lock. I'm eating these beats instead. Wanna feed these streets, really all I need is a piece of bread. But bet, if I'ma change for the better. I love the sunshine, but it can't shine forever. If ever it should rain, we'll get rained on together. Cause you have been a friend to me. You have been a friend. This for the kids from the mill to Chicago. The present is a gift, but the kids are tomorrow. I'm trying to make sense of a world full of sorrow. So promise you'll be there for me. I promise I'll be there for you. If I'ma change for the better. I love the sunshine, but it can't shine forever. If ever it should rain, we'll get rained on together. Cause you have been a friend to me. You have been a friend to me. This for the kids from the mill to Chicago. The present is a gift, but the kids are tomorrow. I'm trying to make sense of a world full of sorrow. So promise you'll be there for me. Now everybody say rags to riches. Do rags to riches. I know I can get it if I push it to the limit. I say rags to riches. Do rags to riches. I know I can get it if I push it to the limit. Ay, rags to riches. Do rags to riches. I know I can get it if I push it to the limit. Ay, rags to riches. Do rags to riches. I know I can get it if I push it to the limit. Ay, if I'ma change. Hey, y'all remember? And it's alright, I'll never change. And let's bring it back, let it be right. Just let it rain. Good times must rise. And promise you'll be there for me. Sometimes I'll be there for you. This for the kids. You can't be afraid to be yourself. The present is a gift. That's the only way you can ever be real. Trying to make sense of them. So promise. And that's that underground basement shit. That basement shit. Coming to you live. The 817 to the 414. You know?
Alright, y'all, we are back live at the Vibe. This is Lotus J, and we are about to get into our topic, Loving the Skin I'm In, on the Blaquer The Berry. We have Queen Solar, we have Jana at the table with us, as well as Omisha. So we are loving the skin. We are in. We're gonna have that conversation. Before we talk about that, though, we're gonna get into just a little bit on the topic of what is going on. What did you guys? I already know. It's just such a. It don't even make sense to ask this question, but I'm gonna do it for the sake of the conversation. What was your thoughts on everything that happened last week with the Trump saga? Because to me, it ain't nothing but a reality show. Like the whole USA is just a big reality show to me now. But anyway, what are your thoughts on that? Anybody want to jump in before we get into our topic?
Yeah, I'll be brief. I'll just say it's becoming more and more challenging to watch the news, but I have to tell myself to not let it discourage me, because knowledge is power, and it is important to know what's going on. There are some things that we can't change. There are some things that we can change. So I feel like it has made me more cognizant of, midterm elections, and trying to mobilize my friends and other people, and trying to do my own research. So, to the point earlier about the Black History fact, if there's always some more digging to be done. So I feel like, yes, there are distractions, but, pay attention to what happened last week. See if the conversation is still going on. See, what can be built upon. I don't know. I guess my whole point is I just try not to get discouraged from being informed about what's going on, and I try not to let it make me live in fear. I just, being 31 now, I just feel like it's important to understand the options, understand, what affects what, and understand that my one vote or that my one voice really does hold weight, and to be influential to other people to make their own decisions so that we can influence change how we can influence change. That's my pageant answer.
Okay. All right. So he wants you to sit down.
Oh. I didn't know he was coming back through. Sorry. Leave me to be the one to be out of order. Sorry.
All right. Anybody else want to comment on that before we jump into the topic?
I think it's par for the course. What do we expect from someone's rise to fame in reality TV? I've never saw a president that hasn't. He's made more Twitter posts than he have official communication pieces. His whole point was to bring jobs, and his entire cabinet cannot stay employed. So I'm not really sure as to. It's like Simon says, but he's doing exactly everything that Simon didn't say. So I think that it's evidence that hatred really is the perfect ingredient to the worst recipe. They hated one president so bad that they went so far that they got a clown. I don't know how much more of the circus we can take before. I don't know. I know you said you called him crazy. I really want somebody to just slap the man. Just one good. I don't know, because I don't know if he realized that this is a country, and we just can't call it quits, or you can't just say cut. After the decisions that he's made. But I was impressed with some of the CEOs that pulled out last week quickly, too. So not like they waited 10 days. I was not so much as impressed because it should have happened a long time ago, but I at least liked that some of them had a morality piece first or at some point. And I know it's financial, right? They just had to make the move so they don't lose money on the back end, but still they made the move. So, but
okay.
You guys as president is.
I will say I find it frustrating that I feel like he gets away with a lot of stuff that any other president or any other person couldn't have gotten away with. It's just so many double standards. I mean, thinking back to the Obama administration, even looking at the family level, Michelle was criticized for wearing mom shorts, but you have a whole first lady who you can find naked pictures of her on the internet.
Those were artistic pictures is what they said.
Oh, okay. Okay. Or let Michelle say, I don't want to live in the White House with Barack. I'm going to stay here, and the taxpayers are going to pay for me to stay in this private whatever with all the security. That would not have gone over well with the previous First Lady, So I feel like, my sister and I talk about it a lot, but he and his family and what he has going on are prime examples of the majority of what's wrong with the country. as far as family goes, as far as business goes, as far as bullying, as far as, you know, dishonesty, you know, so.
I think we got our hands full. That's what I think. And I think it is going to get a lot uglier before it gets better. You have anything you want to add?
I'm just waiting for it all to be over and we have to vote again. That's what I'm waiting on.
You know, the scary thing is that we're going to have to deal with the mess. If they got him out tomorrow, we have a mess on our hands because of the first 8 months that he's been in office. So, and it's going to get worse and worse and worse until he's out of there. And that's the dangerous part because you, like you said, you can't undo what he's doing. So we are in trouble as a nation. But anyway, that's not tonight's topic. Tonight it's a little lighter because we loving the skin that we're in. So I want to ask y'all a question. And this may not apply to any of you, but if it does, I would like for you to share. Solar, have you ever experienced any type of insecurities at all?
Yeah, I have.
You want to share?
I think I've talked about this before.
This is a new show.
I can't remember if it was in private or what, but I just remember, you know, my grandmother has 13 children, and my grandmother is extremely fair-skinned, and all of her children are fair-skinned, and the majority of their children are fair-skinned, and so it was just maybe like me and 2 other people that were dark-skinned. And I used to kind of have a complex because I didn't see how I fit into this family full of light-skinned people. Like, even my mother, you know, was light-skinned or is light-skinned. And I just thought that maybe I was adopted or something. I just felt weird just being in that family because it just didn't seem like I looked like them, I act like them. So I had a bit of insecurity. And then I have a few people in my family, aunts, primarily my aunts. Some of them must say stuff like when I had my first child, my aunt and her dad is dark skinned, and she would say, she was like, oh, you came out really pretty, you know, to be a dark skinned yeah, or something like that. But see, this particular aunt, like, I knew that she didn't really mean anything by it, you know. But then I have another aunt who, you know, is like, you just know she don't like dark-skinned people at all. And I'm her niece. So it's just, I have a couple of aunts that are like that, though. So, yeah, I always felt kind of weird. And even with my hair, like, my hair texture was different. Like, my mom's hair is like yours, or if not, like, a little more curlier. And, you know, it's either curly and long, or, well, my mom is the only one that has the curly, you know, mid-length hair. But my aunts, their hair was always long, and I never really seen it in its natural state. But it was always long, so you can kind of tell, like, they had the quote-unquote good hair type of thing. And my hair was always, like, kinky, and I always had braids, and I didn't get my hair done every day. It was just this whole, you know, just thing or whatever. But, yeah, I felt ugly. So I was mostly quiet, shy. You know, I didn't really kind of come out the box until people started telling me I was pretty. And that was probably maybe 8th and 9th grade when I started to kind of come out a little bit more. So, yeah.
How do you... Okay, we'll come back. What about you, Jenna?
When I was younger, I used to have insecurities about certain physical characteristics of me. But as I got older, you know, to your point earlier about your confidence and your, you know, all of that exuding and overshadowing, I feel like it's more important for, you can say whatever you want to say about me physically, but if you want to gut me, and I don't know if I should give this out or not, but it's about character. So for me, I have insecurities when it comes to, like, character and things like love and marriage. So I hear a lot of my married friends, divorced friends saying, hey, we were cool, but, you know, we just grew apart. So I have insecurity about you know, growing apart, me giving someone my all and us growing apart. Mm-hmm. So I think I have more intellectual insecurities versus physical. Mm-hmm. And being able to articulate that, I think, is the first step.
Hey,
so I'm just, you know, just trying to be rooted and spiritual and work through those things.
Okay.
So, because hey, I mean, physical is gonna change. So you hate it or love it, it's gonna change. So for me, it's more about intellectual type stuff.
Okay. All right. What about you, Misha?
So, yeah, I had a lot of physical insecurities. Believe it or not, I still have some of them. The older I've gotten, they've gotten better, believe it or not. But growing up, I was the light-skinned, chubby kid. Always, oh, your eyes are so pretty, even though you're so big. To this day, I don't know how one equals the other. But I didn't feel... I guess like her middle school, high school, I didn't feel like I deserved the more handsome guy because of my physical features. One thing, like you said earlier, shout outs to daddy. So I am a daddy's girl to the heart. So every morning my daddy told me he loved me and I was beautiful. So I wasn't allowed to just fully sink into like this depression of my size or my weight. But it was still kind of a back in the background. It was a lot, right? So even high school through college, even now currently. So I'm built in a way that I'm heavier at the bottom. So even in corporate America, I feel like I have these insecurities about tucked-in shirt and pair of slacks. To where now I'm just like I have to embrace it and just roll with the punches. But it's always been hard for me, especially when you sit in a room with people that don't look anything like you. It's kind of the mumblings, like what are they saying, what are they thinking? It's enough that my hair looks X, my first name is Y, and now physically I don't. So I've always juggled. I still juggle with those pieces. I try to make jokes of it or make light of it, but it is a growing piece. It's just understanding that physically it won't change, and if you like it, if you like it, great. If you don't, I still love it. So I can't change it. The backstory of it, or the other half of it, is that at some point, I don't know if it was just due to like society or media, certain body types became over-sexualized, or they were only X versus Y. Mm-hmm. So I still do like the weighing of those two pieces, and I'm always really nervous. Like if a guy approaches me, is it just because of this, or is it because of this? So I mean, I don't want to walk around dressed like a Puritan just to try and hide something that I really can't hide. It's just the give and the take. So
I would have to say I dealt and still do. I struggle, and I should be over it at this stage in life, but I'm not, and that's just the truth. But I'm learning, and I am embracing. But I've always been a real intellectual person. Always been one that loves to read and to learn and to study. I never really liked TV a whole lot, and I was more of a tomboy, so I was outside playing more and all that. But I think I grew up. I've always been curvy, and I didn't embrace it. I didn't embrace it when I was younger at all, because it was not. I went to school with like a lot of white girls, so they don't look like that, and so I was always in a shell. And then the black girls usually were trying to mimic the white girls, and that was a struggle for me because I've never been that. So I act different, and then I look different, and it was a struggle for me. As an adult, sometimes I resent because I like for people to know the essence of who I am, and I don't like to be minimized to my body shape or the size of this or the size of that, or I don't like that. I appreciate, like any female does, compliments, but there's so much more to me than my shape, my figure. So sometimes it really bothers me because I feel like how when the joke back in the day, or maybe still current, I don't know, but the dumb blonde, where people just assume she's dumb just because she's blonde, and that's so disrespectful. But that's how that feels. Like you don't really have anything to talk about because you got a big butt, because you got your hips, and You know what I'm saying? Like, they can't get to know you as a person. And I'm like, yeah, you know what? I also got a conversation, you know, that can blow your mind, some opinions about some things, and, you know, some creativity and some, a lot of different things to offer, more so than just my physical person. So again, not that I don't appreciate compliments, because I do, but that's not the essence of who I am. So, but this is the funny thing. What's crazy is you'll have petite women wishing they were more curvaceous. You'll have the larger girls wishing they were smaller. You'll have the dark-skinned girls wishing they were light, the light-skinned wishing they were dark. Nobody is ever satisfied. So I love this new wave of women that are learning how to embrace the skin that they're in. And the thing that blew me away, the reason I wanted to do this show, is because Saturday at Brick House, these ladies had a party. It was called the Pretty Girls, and they were some very large girls in their group. You know, most of them were plus size, but then there were some that were very large, and I was really, really, really admiring them. I was like, they feeling themselves for real. Like, it's not even just an act. Like, they are really literally feeling themselves. And I was really kind of envious, like, dang. And I'm still kind of, it looks like I'm all out here like that. You know, it's the job. But I'd be like, oh, but I was like, well, go on then, get it. I can't say that I would have wore everything I saw walk through the door, because it ain't my style. But I was appreciating the fact that they were comfortable and they were not buying into society's definition of beautiful. And they didn't care. You know, it was like, shoot, we the pretty girls up in here. And that's how they rocked it. You know what I'm saying? And I was really proud of them. I wanted to parade them around the whole club. I really, really did. But I think we've done a lot of damage to our girls have been damaged growing up. Specifically, I can't really speak for boys, but I know that they deal with things too.
To your point about wanting to be appreciated for your mind too, speaking on this whole insecurity, intellectual insecurity, that kind of carries over too for me with guys. You know, I've had guys who are like, oh, I really like you, and I want to express how much I like you. I just can't find the words. I want to show you. But I'm like, no, I need you to find the words. Just, you know, right. A physical act is not going to show me how much you like me, you know. So I feel like I have somewhat of an insecurity too when it comes to guys, because it's like, are you really interested in this intellectual? Are you interested in, you know, once you say what you have to say physically, is it over? Am I going to see you again? You know, and then they try to make you feel like you're crazy. But to your point about that, you know, that's a big thing.
And
I feel like a lot of women deal with.
Ira dropped a message, and I agree totally with this. He said, I think it's natural for people to observe your physical attributes first. That's what you see visually, and that's what draws people in, so I get that. Then he says, depending on what your taste is, but that's what draws you in. It's up to us as individuals to actually take the time to get to know the individual after that first impression. And I agree with that. However, that ain't how that always works. This just not. Like, sometimes people won't even give you the opportunity to have conversation with you because they are so stuck right there.
Yeah.
So
put you in the box.
They do.
But I mean, people haven't always been like that, because if you look at, like, back in the day, like, women used to be entirely covered. You know, they, like you said, like a Puritan, like, people used to be covered. So what were they looking at then? You know, how were they? I mean, I know there were a lot of probably arranged relationships, marriages, or whatever, but they weren't looking at your physical. So they had to connect to you whether your family was wealthy, or they knew your father was a good man or a smart man or a wealthy man, and they just know that his daughter is going to be awesome or whatever. I don't know. But they didn't always look at your physical. That's something new. That's something new that came with media, you know, with advertisement, billboards, television. I don't know. That's just some new stuff. So people haven't always done that, and you can definitely get back to actually talking to somebody and getting to know who they are before looking at their outer appearance.
Well, I do agree that the outer appearance is going to be the initial, and that's a given, and I get it. I get that. I'm just concerned that we are being so watered down as a society that there's no substance left. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, so are you leaving it there? Are you basing your decisions on that? Because she could be fine as all get out and a fool.
And crazy.
Yes.
So
dumb as a box of
it's
rocks.
almost like my appearance brought you over here. Now what?
Now what?
It's like the appearance is the introduction. So let me introduce you to the rest of the story. So you have the table of contents, or you have the cover, right? So now let's actually get to the meat of it. Yeah. But I want to comment on a piece that you said. So the movement that everybody saw, like, I'm so in love with the Black Girls Rock movement.
Oh, yes.
But the other whole, like the natural movement. So if you decide to go fully natural, you embrace your state, if you're permed, whatever. I think that was, I don't know who came up with it, whoever she is, whoever he is, that was amazing. I think that was the only thing that's going to save us, is that truly embracing that everything does not come in a size 00. Perfect. It may go up to a size 26. And if that's, like you said, it may not have fit your taste, and it may fit mine, but that's fine. I think that the media did do a big level of destruction, which telling us what perfect or what beautiful was. I think that as we take that back and we create our own streams of media, we create our own streams of publications, designers are coming out. So it used to only be like one store that went up past a 12. Now you have like your online markets, you have actual brick and mortar stores that are catering to that market, so people don't feel left out. They don't feel as if they can't look wonderful, because I can't go in your typical store and just get a pair of pants and walk out. I just can't, right? So I still need you to keep the plus size stores or whatever, because that's what's comfortable for me, and I'm not the only one. If you look at the American woman, it used to be that a size 14 was the standard size. But if you look at a magazine, they would tell you it was a 4 to a 6. But if you look at any other like inventory, so I have a couple friends that work in inventory control, and they're like 14, 16. So now it's moved from 14 to an actual 16 being the most sought after size. So truly, America is changing, right? And a 16 can look 17 different ways on 17 different body shapes, but that doesn't mean any one of those body shapes is less attractive or less qualified or less desired than the other, right? And I think that's a piece that everybody is having to embrace, me included. Like, there's some days that I feel like I'm a brick house, and some days sometimes I don't. But I think that's a part of being human, is acknowledging the insecurities, but not stumbling over them, not drowning in them, accepting the challenge and just pressing forward, but still acknowledging. And like Loda said, sometimes if you acknowledge your insecurities, you can be actual support for somebody else. I mean, there's no new problems under the sun. We just find new ways to present them. So I think that's
important to have a good network of people too, to help build your confidence too, because
and tell you the truth.
Right, exactly. Because I know when we go shopping, we'll tell each other if we need to get something or not get it. But I feel like it's really important for us, if we call ourselves friends or whatever, to pay that compliment to your friend. Because I always try to tell this one that she's beautiful, and I'm not BSing. Like, if you got a fly away on your head, I'm gonna tell you.
And I'm sitting here like this.
And so I try to make it my business too, because I do interact with a lot of people in different places where I go. I try to make it my business. If I see something I like, if I see something that's beautiful, even on a woman, whether I know her or not, if we get close enough, I'll go and tell her, hey, you look beautiful, or hey, I love that necklace, or hey, I love your hair. You just never know what type of day someone is having. You never know what a person is going through. So I feel like it is important for us to help build each other up in that same way too. If you want to compliment somebody, don't hold it in, because you just never know. There was a lady in Brick House that came in, and she can't wear metal jewelry, and so she had her little pearl hookup, and I was telling her, you look pretty. I was like, you look good. It matches. It looks really good. And she came back and she brought me a flyer and invited me to her birthday festivities, and she said, you just don't know what that did for me, because I can't wear metal jewelry, and this is all that I can wear, and I was just so insecure and wondering how this looked tonight. But sweetheart, you made my night. She's about to turn 50, so
that's old to you too, ain't it?
I please
50 is not old.
She said it like it is. She must turn 50.
No, because my mommy is 40 years my senior, so no, that's not old. That's getting better.
And you just said earlier that you were going to go and change the light bulb because you didn't want her to get up there, so...
Yeah, no.
No. That's a safety hazard.
No.
Okay.
My mom is 71, so... and if somebody is watching and you tell I told you her age... Nah, she won't care. But, yeah, I just feel like it's important. I try to do my best to encourage my friends, too, even when it comes to, like, their work or supporting them with going back to school or whatever. I feel like it's really important. And if you realize that there's somebody that's around you that is not speaking life into you, it's okay to end that relationship. You don't need toxic people around you. So.
I agree 1,000%.
I have a question because as you ladies were talking, I was just thinking about, like, man, there always seems to be an attack on women. And I can't possibly relate to a man, so I don't know, what their experiences
It's just not about
are.
them tonight, so let's go.
But I just think about, like, women go through so much over, like, in the beginning, they couldn't own property, they couldn't vote, they had to fight for those rights, and then, they were women get taken advantage of. When women were a part of the workforce, they had to fight for equal wages, and then you move up, then you have women being sexually assaulted, and so now we got to fight through that, and then now it's like an attack on our bodies, on our skin, on our hair. Like, if you don't fit this mold or this idea,
it's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, it's a whole lot because I see a lot of I just see, and I'm just talking about black women now, like black women that either want to have longer hair, they don't want to embrace their natural hair, and then those that embrace their natural hair, they still struggle with that. And it's all about, appearance. Like, does this look good? Does this look right? Am I in style, or is this, like all
That's
of these,
a lot of pressure.
all of these questions, and it's almost like there's an attack, because if you look at commercials and billboards and magazines and stuff like that, like, the man, he's fine, like, in the picture, but the girl gotta have, like, if she has natural hair, it gotta be like extra curly and kind of long, it can't be like a short fro. So that's the imagery that they're putting out there. She's not real dark, and if she's real dark, then they want to paint this image like, oh, this is exotic, and this is our standard of beauty, and you know how they
it's always too much. It's always over the top of something.
Mm-hmm. And so it's just like, can we just find like some kind of middle ground here? Like, can we get an average black woman? Can we show people, like, because this is what black women look like. Like, yeah, some of us look like that. Yeah, some of us look like that. But a lot of us can identify with the average.
What is average, though?
I was gonna say,
what would you call average?
I think we come in so many spectrums that I don't think there is an average anymore.
Maybe average is not the right word, but...
No, but honestly, I want to know, like, what would you, if you were designing something like a commercial, who would you put in there to represent what you feel like
that represents like all women can relate to? Oh,
a box of Cheerios, because I can't think of nothing.
I don't know. I'm trying to think of an actor. I don't know, but I'm thinking of someone that's like I don't always want to see someone made up or someone with long hair, or you know what I'm saying. I don't want to see the two extremes. I want something midway. Like, like if I see a family,
at least sometimes. Yeah,
if I see a family, I want to see a dark skinned man, a dark skinned wife, and some dark skinned babies.
Sometimes.
Or I want to see a light skinned family. I don't want to see like dark skinned man with a almost white looking wife and then some mixed children. Like, because that's the image that I see all the time. Like, can I see an all dark skinned family? Can I see an all light skinned family? Can I, it just seems like they're just trying to sell this
I like
image.
mixing it up. It's just, but I get what you're saying, though, because I know, like, it's crazy, because I went to somewhere, and I can't remember where it was. It was today, and I saw this poster, and it was this black guy who was handsome. He had some beautiful long locks. Oh, yeah. The hair, I mean, the complexion, he was a little light, but, whatever. But then he was with this white girl, and they had this beautiful, almost white baby. So my thing is, I feel what you're saying. What you're saying is, can we just sometimes, do we always have to drop little nuggets in in order to be acceptable. So almost this is what I'm hearing. Correct me if I'm wrong. What I'm hearing you say is that dark-skinned brother would be fine, but it's almost like they had to throw that light-skinned, almost white sister in there to validate him for even being in the commercial.
Or just to balance it out.
Balance it out, instead of just letting it be what it is.
I think it's symmetry, right? So you don't get all of anything. So if you look at like court TVs, every time you have a white judge, you have a black bailiff. And when you switch it, it's the other way around. Like, I think it's
all staged.
Yeah, I think it's
all of it
is just to do the symmetry of it. So if I have a darker male, I need a lighter woman. When in theory, you can have two light-skinned parents and have a darker-skinned son or daughter. Yeah. So I think that it's just symmetry, right? So if I drop in this one, I'll do this one because somebody told them that symmetry makes good pictures. I don't necessarily agree with it, but I think maybe it's not the right word. But that's what I think.
The way society is moving, it's getting almost impossible for that because life is getting so liberal now. It's dang near impossible for you to see. It's just like there's no real purity in race anymore. You're not going to see any real purity in advertising anymore either.
But to her point, it's always staged, right?
Yeah, to me, that's what it looks like. Or can I just see a dark-skinned sister, maybe, with a light-skinned guy?
Like just like flip the symmetry?
Yes. Like, can I at least get that?
I get it.
Because to me, in my mind, when I look at that, I'm thinking, okay, you're saying a dark-skinned brother need to get a light-skinned chick.
I get it.
So they can have light-skinned babies.
Or they can have kids that fall in the spectrum, right?
Yes.
That the color scheme isn't altered.
Let me tell y'all this. I was watching... I never watch TV, but I was trying to just kind of calm myself today. I had a little stressful day. So, somebody had recommended to me a while ago to watch Being Mary Jane. I'm like, I don't want to watch no...
That's my jam.
Oh,
I had never really seen it. So, I started watching it. I was like, okay, it ain't as crazy as I thought it would be. Mm-hmm. So... it's so real. But the scene that I want to talk about is right before the niece has the baby. And she was talking to her aunt, which is Mary Jane, about, Auntie, don't you see me? Like, you don't see what I look like? Oh. Like, this is why I got these two babies. And she was like, I did. And she was like, so you got pregnant on purpose? She's like, no, but I wasn't trying not to get pregnant. And her aunt was like, well, why would you do that? So she's saying, because I want to have something in this world that doesn't have to struggle like I did. And it broke my heart because I wonder how many black girls feel like that. Because the girl was very dark-skinned and very heavy. And she really just extremely low self-esteem. So she on purpose got pregnant, and she was talking about how she would give her body, and like, this is what she good at, 'cause she really just wanted to be loved. She wanted some attention from somebody. So the grandmother kind of hard on her, and really even the auntie is kind of hard on her too. A lot of judging, but it was almost as if that was the first time that the auntie really heard what she was saying. Like, I'm not judging her, I'm hearing how did she get here. That's how she got there. Because everybody just kind of played her like the big fat black ugly chick. And that's how that was embedded in her mind. And I think she's pretty too. Like, she had beautiful skin and beautiful eyes, and I mean, she was very overweight, but that does not mean that you can't be beautiful just because you're overweight. And so it was so profound to me, that scene. It was almost like ordained, like that scene, and then I have to come and do this show tonight, and this is the topic.
Oh, wow.
Because, it was like real, like I had a little moment, like, okay, God, I hear you. Okay, I see. Like, you really trying to coach, like, this is what people are dealing with. Like, okay, you've dealt with it on this side. Somebody else is dealing with it on this side. Then I think about really, 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 really thin girls who to me never even are considered. Because oftentimes we talk about the insecurities of the plus size or the heavier females. We don't even really acknowledge what kind of insecurity very, very thin, because everybody that's really thin don't want to be.
Yeah.
Some of them can't gain weight. So we don't really put too much emphasis on that, nor do we put a lot of emphasis on the insecurities that some fairer skin, light skin girls. It's always the heavy and the darker sister and the one with the more coarse hair. Those are the ones that are insecure. But that's us, even in our own four walls of people, our own community of people that are boxing that in and really boxing the emotions of the thinner, light skin, long hair. Maybe that's not who she want to be. I remember even when we first met, you would be like, "Oh, your hair is so pretty." I'd be like, "Girl, I want my hair to do like this and just ball up on my head," because that's my personality, So I almost resented that, and I do. Whenever people say, "Well, your hair is so pretty," I react, and it's not a pleasant reaction. I'm learning to say thank you and just walk away, but I hate that term, good hair. Like, it's very degrading to me because I want to know, so what do you think is bad hair? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't. But I like the fact that we're embracing ourselves more as individuals. But I do think that we need to broaden that so that we can see all of our sisters and all of what they are dealing with. It's not just this, because just like we're saying white America or the media has given us the image of what beauty is, in a lot of ways we do that in our own communities too. And we also do that we can have extremely thin, fair skin, long, straight, or curly hair sisters that's really, really, really going through, and we're not even paying attention because we think, what she got to complain about?
We focus on our outer appearance.
Yes. And we think that she's beautiful, whereas she may not. That's not the box she want to be in. That ain't the package she want. So anyway, what y'all think about that?
I totally agree. I think you shouldn't discredit one struggle for another. So I do have a cousin that's extremely light. She gets extremely offended when she's asked if she's mixed, right? People asked her, you know how like you have the oh, she's a light skin, she's a dark skin, she's a red bone. My cousin's been called pink. Like she doesn't like it, but everybody feels like she should be happy because she's so light, right? So she looks this part, but she's not mixed. I mean, none of us are truly pure, but she doesn't have a white parent on either side. She's aware, but we discredit that piece completely. We discredit, I think, and she had to break it down to me. So when I say we, I was included in the box of ignorance. And I'll say ignorance because anytime you discredit one side and the other, if you're being ignorant to the fact that she struggles just like I struggle. So I'm complaining about my physical attributes and she's complaining about hers. And I look to her and I say, why do you, like, what's wrong? Like, I don't get the idea. And she was like, that's the point. You don't get it because you don't wake up and look in the mirror every day. I look at this person in the mirror. You don't. So you can't discredit what I feel like when I look at it. Just like I can't discredit how you feel. Because she was like, I would rather have a curve at the bottom and I don't. She was like, I have to, pick a certain gene or whatever to get this look when you don't. And she's like, but then you're comparing yourself to my skin tone. And I like my skin tone, so I don't want that to come off. But she wants to be darker. Like, she's tried to tan and she's tried to do X, Y, and Z, and she just can't. So she's extremely fair. But, so it's a different struggle. And I have a coworker who is 34 years old and she weighs 96 pounds. So she's constantly faced with are you bulimic? Are you anorexic? Are you sick? What's wrong with you? And like, she gets extremely aggressive with that, and people are like, what's she worried about? Or you need to eat some more because you're this. And she's like, this is just who I'm going to be. She's like, I've tried to gain weight. I've taken steroids. I've taken weight gainers, and my body's physically not meant to be any bigger. I mean, she's like 5'2", so she's physically, that's where she is in a happy place. In a healthy, happy place, she's at that 96 pound, 5'2", so she's on the much smaller side, but that's just kind of her makeup. But no one wants to talk to the piece like, oh, she's that. And she was like, I literally can go to Old Navy and buy kids' clothes because the women's clothes, like, they just don't fit. But, I'm looking at her like, well, I can't buy them because they're too small. So I've discredited that piece for a long time. So I think that in the last, I would say, 2 or 3 years, I've tried to open up and understand everybody has something. And I guess the other piece of me, and like Janice kind of helped me get better at this piece, is when did complimenting become a weakness? Right, so we were at Brick House like a year ago. This lady walked in, and I'm a stickler for like fixing people's clothes. If I know you or don't know you, if I can help you, and like her bra strap kept sliding down, and then she had like on like a racerback kind of like tank top, and her bra strap was showing in the back. So she's at the bar ordering her drink or whatever, and I'm just like, hold on. She was like, huh? And I was like, oh, your straps are out. And she was like, oh, thank you, whatever. She left, and then I saw her on the other side, and she was like, thank you. My own friend standing behind me didn't tell me. I was like, well, maybe they didn't see it. And she was like, well, it's just shocking that somebody didn't know me would, like, tuck in my tag and fix my strap. And I said, I don't gain any personality points by you having a flaw, which is a possible flaw showing. I don't get any more points from not acknowledging you as a flaw, because as a woman, if my bra strap is sliding or my zipper come undone, like, tell me, pull me, freeze me, stop me. Don't allow me to continue my embarrassment without knowing. And I feel like a lot of women have like just gotten into the shell to where it's like, oh, well, sorry about the bad luck. I think that, like Lotus said, that we've kind of put ourselves in boxes. That complimenting piece, like, hey, I like your blouse, I like your dress, I like your shoes, but also, hey, ma'am, you got tissue on the bottom, or, your eyelashes lean, like, not to be derogatory or to pick on somebody, but to, like, pull them aside and have the conversation. I mean, of course, you don't want to blast anybody, because then you're tearing them down. It's like, let me just pull you to the side, ma'am, sorry. I think that as a people, we have to get better with that, and we have to teach like young girls that it's okay to compliment, that it isn't a competition all the time. So if you're at a cheerleading competition, you fighting your hardest, you dance to the end, you do what you have to do. But in life, none of us are an island, so we need to learn to boost each other up. We need to not always tear down, but build each other up. So I think that's a piece that has to start really young, because a lot of us were torn down so much to where we just kept tearing, because we felt like, oh, I survived, I took my scars, it made me stronger, so I'm gonna go all in on you, and if you can't take it, then you just the weakest link. Sorry, I'm gonna go to you because you're strong. Like, I think that we need to learn to build, because we've been told that we're like black women are super strong and you can take anything. No. Like, we can perform. We'll perform. We'll make it look nice. We'll put on a happy face, however we have to paint it. But I think it's time that we teach each other how to build. And it starts young. And people that are older need to catch up, jump back in the race, get the baton and move. But the building piece, like, it has to come, because without that, you'll always be constant fighting. So there's no such thing as, oh, she is a pretty, like, she's light-skinned, so she's pretty. Wrong. Oh, she's dark, so she's pretty for a dark girl, or she's extremely pretty because she's light, or this little girl. And I've saw daycares favor kids over complexion, and I've saw grandparents favor kids over complexion. And I think that you've created an animosity between those two children,
because they can feel it,
for one, and for two, you've created another set of ignorance that will only foster more ignorance and more ignorance.
One of the comments from one of our somebody that's watching, Ira, said he was talking about how he's really appreciating women embracing who they are a lot better now, and you can just kind of see what's wrong. Ira, he typed in wrong, like, what? Call in and tell me what's wrong. But I'm reading your message. He's not responding to me. He was talking about something one of y'all said.
As always.
No, I'm just playing. I have no idea what he's talking about.
It was probably me. It's fine.
But anyway, and something else though, and I have a lot of male friends, and I hear them say that a lot. Like, women care so much more about stuff that men just really don't care about at all. Like, they just don't care, and y'all stressing yourselves out over this, over that, and what size, and but.
They say, I don't know if that's entire. Well,
if they say it, it's true.
But
I think it depends on the man.
Yeah, because so like women, because I don't think we mentioned this. Like, a lot of women have a complex with their age. Like, if they're getting older, they're dealing with that. They don't know how to. Okay, what am I? That's a whole transition. You got to change the way you dress. I mean, it kind of comes with it, but you still want to be kind of in style. You may not be able to dance or move, or do the things that you used to do. So age is one of those things that so a lot of women are uncomfortable with. So if men aren't really concerned about all that stuff, like there are men that are going after women that's like 20 years younger than them, And we aren't supposed to be, you know. I'm not saying that that's a legit concern, but what I am
It is
saying
a legit concern.
No,
it's just real.
I mean, but age.
It's
you're
not.
gonna
It
get
doesn't
older.
apply to everybody.
No, it
but
doesn't.
it's still that's a legit concern.
But men, like, they, you know, some men, they have preferences. So, like, when they first look at a woman, they're like, "Ooh, she thick. Ooh, she got a big booty. Ooh, she whatever it is that they're saying. You know, whatever that catches their attention. So, or if a woman come in the club and she doesn't have on makeup versus the woman that does have on makeup, you know, it's like this woman is going to look more appealing
to someone.
Yes, because she has on, because you know, makeup enhances your beauty.
But you have some guys who absolutely hate makeup, so it's just whatever floats your boat.
That's the whole embracing who you are. If you want to beat your face to the guys, then baby, beat it.
It is, but it is.
If you want to show up fresh out the bed, show up.
Fresh out.
Stay home.
I'm just saying. I'm saying if you want to show up with no makeup on, do it. If you want to beat your face for 2 hours and you contouring and you add all these mosaic pieces, I think that you have that power to own yourself, to do whatever it is that makes you happy. Like whatever makes you like make you a star. I think you should. That's what you should do. You know,
and that's okay. But they still go after the ones that are made up.
Some,
but not
all.
I mean,
what were you going, Jenna? What was you gonna say?
I was just gonna say, I think sensitivity in how we interact with people is really important too, because to your point earlier about, you know, naturals prefer naturals, but straight and wavy prefer straight and wavy. So I was around a lady one time, and this lady kind of sort of bit her head off. She's like, you know, sister, why aren't you embracing your natural and this, that, and the other? Why do you buy this? Why are you wearing these weaves, et cetera, et cetera? And the lady kind of, you know, told her that she needs to mind her own business. And then, you know, after they had their exchange of words, the one lady that was being criticized kind of sort of broke down, and she was like, you know, she doesn't know. You know, I went through chemo. My hair won't grow back in the middle. So this is what, you know, this is what makes me feel like a woman. This is what makes me feel better. And so, you know, we just never know what someone has going on. But some people are so quick to pass judgment. I think it's okay to be outspoken. It's okay to have your opinions. But there's a level of sensitivity that needs to be had when dealing with people. Everyone needs to, you know, push that 5-second pause button that I know everyone has before they fly off at the handle and decide that they want to share their opinion, which everyone has one, you know, be it right, wrong, or indifferent. But I just feel like there's a level of sensitivity that has to be had when interacting with people.
I agree 1,000%. And I'm also coming to the realization that as much as I am loving people embracing their natural selves, and I really am, I also think that it's very hypocritical for us to start to judge the sisters who don't want to, because I do think that's optional. You know, that's your decision as to what you do, how you do it, and I just don't want people to feel like they have to do that in order to be beautiful. Because to me, what embracing the skin that I'm in means to me, but this is just me, is embracing me exactly the way that I am. Exactly the way that I am. Without makeup, you know, just this is who I am, and I'm learning to love me the way that I am. Because to me, when you learn how to do that and you can embrace who you are on the inside, your whole personality changes on the outside. Sometimes for the good, sometimes not for the good. Because sometimes people can be feeling themselves so much that they can become nasty towards other people. They can be so wrapped up into this pretty girl. I saw a meme and it was so funny. Let me find it. Oh no. It was funny. It was funny.
She's laughing a little too hard.
It was funny. It was this I bet 20 of these text messages is from Daryl. Yep. Alright, but let me find this meme because it was so hilarious to me.
But to what you said about
it said cute women are always the craziest. Y'all think y'all get a pass or something just because you're cute. I thought that was so funny because it's really a lot of Daryl, stop. Don't look at your messages, Lotus, because you know this dude. But yeah, what happened to my screen? Okay. But yeah, sometimes people like that nastiness can come out because you just think you did, so you gonna act like that. You nasty to other people, and that's so whack. Like because what? Because what? Because you halfway cute, or you think you halfway cute?
Yeah, you think you cute.
Right. Take that makeup off. Let me see what you look like first when you first wake up too. You know what I'm saying? Like before you get all dialed up. And let's see that raw person. But a lot of people, their attitudes are based on their outer appearance. But that's because they're not really, in my opinion, authentically loving who you are. Because if you do, that's not going to change.
I can't even imagine that.
You can't imagine what?
I can't imagine somebody's attitude being based on their appearance.
Girl.
I mean, I know. Well, I mean, on a lower level, like I know that
it's a lower frequency. I could tell you that they ain't vibrating high. But go ahead.
But I'm saying, as far as like appearance, like if I'm not really feeling what I have on, then that's gonna affect my mood. But I'm saying, like you're thinking that you're beautiful and that you're more beautiful than the next, so you act conceited and just uppity and have a whole bunch of attitude. Like I can't even imagine that.
That only takes you so far, and it's I feel like it's a very unhappy person who finds their uplifting in looking down on someone else.
That's shameful.
I get joy out of making people feel good. Like that is such a rush to me.
Me too.
I get like a high when I can play a part in. I can see somebody, like let's say I'm at Brick, and I can see somebody kind of sitting down, and I can look at her and tell she feeling some kind of way. That'd be the one that I'm going, come on, girl, you know, I'll probably take her up on the stage, you know, just to make her feel like special. Because I don't know, like you really can't imagine that. Like you don't see that on a daily basis. On a daily basis, you don't see that.
No, but it could have something to do with the fact that I'm around children more than anything. But I can't see that. Like when you said you get a kick out of making people happy, I was thinking like, dang, what is it? I think I just get a kick out of like just being around people who are just confident in who they are. Like I enjoy, like when we went to your all African party, like everybody looked so beautiful to me, and I was just so like, fun. Man, it was a wonderful feeling, and everybody was feeling themselves, and they were beautiful, and they were having fun. Like I get a kick out of that, you know. But on in the classroom, it's a little different. So if I do notice somebody who's kind of like the oddball, or they feel some kind of way, like if we do some kind of paper and they write something on there, then that would be the child that, like you said, I would bring up into the spotlight, maybe have them doing something for me or something like that. So
let me ask you this: I do it on with children, you don't see girls like who think, because to me it would probably be really obvious. Yeah. Yes, like these little girls who think they cute, or they dress cuter, or like they act some kind of way.
I see those little girls, but like adult women, I don't.
Them little girls grow up.
I know,
and they act the same.
They get worse.
I just don't see adult women doing it. I just think that you kind of, you know, you progress in thought, and you're just not. You know, other things are more important now. I mean, your looks are important, but there's other things that's more important than looks. So I just don't know women that do that.
Or maybe you just don't give it enough thought to let it register. Yeah. When you see it, maybe you just don't. Because I've saw examples of a woman. She's done whatever, right? She got her stuff on today. Maybe she got her Spanx pulled up extra high. So she got that, you know, that. And then she got the stank look when she walked by. Ain't nobody, you know.
Can't nobody touch this.
Yeah, and we all know when the zipper come down. Yeah, but I mean, I saw like groups of friends where, you know, when it's my day, I'm shining, you know, I'm sitting on top of the pyramid, you at the bottom. So I think that there are some
see it all the time. I hate it.
Yeah, I saw it like when we've been out, like
people watching.
Yeah. I mean, so this is one. This is horrible. So we were at Truth like when it first opened. And this actually going on World Star is how bad this was. So it's a lady, she was real cute, like medium build, like, you know, nice shape, nice dress. And so she had her, like, her Beyonce feel on, right? Like, she dancing, she grooving. right? And like, you know, they have like the club spotlights are going.
Mm-hmm.
The spotlight hit her, and it revealed that she was wearing like some type of like butt enhancement, right? So her partner in crime who came with her is standing back watching, and so people are going by like pointing and kind of like laughing, and you know, like phones are out. So, but to me, your friend didn't stop this, you know what I mean? But that friend thought she was in her mode, and she was taking her selfies, but nobody stopped this. And
That's kind of funny.
That is sad.
It is sad.
It is.
It was sad on multiple levels.
That is sad.
It was sad on multiple levels. It was sad that everybody laughed, but it was more sad that the person that she was comfortable with, right? Because when women go in the restroom and you actually get in the white lights, you can see some stuff that the dark lights were hiding.
Yeah.
Right? And nobody told her you might want to stay at the spotlight. No, they didn't. Right? So it was a group of women, and as the little 4-minute clip progressed, because you know we happened to get a front row seat, but it was on World Star.
And y'all was laughing too.
We didn't know who she was until later, and she walked out. I said, Jenna, look. It was too late. The club was over. We was going to the car. So the damage had been done. But when you look at the World Star clip, she's standing up, like her friends are like right by her, and as they start seeing it, they pull back, right?
Oh.
So they not in the shot anymore. I was like, y'all are evil.
But not for me. It was stuff like that's not funny. I'm big on character, so for me it's like these heifers with her ain't gonna say nothing to her. Like,
but they was cute
Alicia,
though.
I wish you would.
Like they were cute though. They were still like doing they were flawless.
See, if
and they allowed her to have a personal failure to me.
That's not cool. Because if that was my friend, I would have.
Misha, you crazy.
Yeah, you not right, Lotus. That ain't right.
That's Misha said it. I didn't say nothing.
If that was me, hold up. If that was me on the dance floor,
I'ma tell you.
And I wouldn't even.
I'm not gonna let you get in the club
tell
with
you.
that.
I'ma tell you.
What if y'all didn't know? I'm not gonna tell y'all that I have on a butt.
But if I see it,
if we
I'ma
true
tell
friends,
you.
the moment you walk by me, I'm sorry. Like when my friends walk by, hey,
comfortably
pause.
saying, "Hey, can you? I got a spank on. Can you see
pull this up?
Does it look right? Do I need to safety pin it?
There's some people I have pulled to the side and was like, I'm just gonna fix your shirt, your underwear is showing.
See,
Or get to the point where, like, we're at the point now where it's like, okay, I'm about to wear this, and I'll take a quick selfie and send it and say, does this look okay?
And there's sometimes I say,
You might
survey says no.
see, if that was my friend, I would have got over there in a shot and like blocked it, like, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, that
nobody
would
can
be an
see it.
Time to go to
acceptable
Waffle
reaction.
House. I think it's time to go to
And
Waffle
then
House.
after the
I said,
spotlight
we gotta
moved, girl, come on.
I mean, even that
That
would be an
ain't cool.
acceptable reaction.
But they let her fail. You can watch the World Star video. They pulled back.
That's not cool. That's not cool. But just like you lady said, like, people are not sympathetic to each other's feelings anymore. Like, we're just not.
But once again, it's important for you to evaluate your network too. If it's somebody that's always negative around me, if it's somebody that
You
doesn't
need to
check
cut
me,
it.
You showed
pretty
it.
much. So I think it's
I'm glad
okay.
Lotus wasn't her friend.
It's okay to be by yourself. It's okay to be by yourself and do stuff by yourself because I feel like that's more peace. The
It's
amount of friends that you
boring.
have. Or
No,
what-
it's not. I love being by myself.
You know how many
Peace
less
is
Christmas
priceless.
gifts that is you have to buy?
What'd you say? How many what?
How many less
She
Christmas
said
gifts
it
you
wrong.
have to
I
buy?
caught that double negative, but I wasn't gonna say nothing.
That's one less person on the Christmas list.
One less birthday you gotta remember.
I get it, because I feel
Funny.
like, I do feel like you have to evaluate your circle of people. And that's another lesson that I'm learning and that's part of being comfortable with the skin that I'm in, is knowing what my limits are, knowing what I want. You know, it's not even just about the physical, but even like my spiritual self. You know, I don't like being around individuals who I just can't. Like, if you can't bring me no good energy, I only got about this much for you, and then I'm out. I'm going to give you this much, though, because I give everybody that much. But you ain't getting no more than that, because if I cannot feel like you are enhancing my life, you don't get to come into my inner circle. You don't. And you won't.
Or
if you're not bringing
your own life.
Well, you
Enhancing
gotta
your
enhance mine too, though. I'm just
True.
gonna be honest,
Yeah, it
because
has to go both ways.
it does. For me, it does. Like, I have to know that. Like, Solar is one of my closest friends, and we don't spend a whole lot of time together. But there's substance, because I know that if I need something, my family needs something, she got me. She knows that if she needs me, I got her. And I feel bad if she don't come to me as she would me. Now, we don't, but it's just the substance is there. You know what I'm saying? Like, and when you have too many people around that are not pouring into you, and you're one of those individuals that's always pouring out, you'll one day find out that you dry, you empty, you ain't got nothing left, because you've been around people that just take, and it's not even taking, it's even just taking your energy. Like, you can't never have nothing good to say. Like, I'm comfortable with saying, you know what, I did my part, I'm moving around and protecting my own energy. I am comfortable with that. Like, I no longer feel bad about that.
Yeah, so to that point too, I've seen people on Facebook just always whining and complaining. I don't have this, I can't do that, I can't get here, I can't get there. And it's like, you know, let's say this is January and I'm inviting you to a barbecue in September. And
right, you from now then you can't figure it out.
Right, exactly. So I'm saying, hey, we're gonna do a Labor Day barbecue. It's January 4th, and I'm inviting you to this way in January. And your first response is, I don't have a car.
Right,
I need transport.
all of that.
You plan on being in poverty?
You
plan on the line from now?
That
you don't have enough confidence in yourself to get out there and hustle or save up a couple of dollars, or I mean, even if you gotta use your stamps, 2 packs of wieners. Do you know how far that can go? So I
just don't even understand the mindset.
Man,
so
we got Uber.
So once again, that takes a lot out of you when you're always trying to include somebody and you're trying to help build them up. But I can't want more for you than you want for yourself.
Exactly.
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 Yeah.
Exactly. All right, y'all. It is 10 minutes to 10. So what we do is just kind of go and wrap up by giving our final thoughts on the conversation, and then we'll close it out. So, Miss Misha, what is your final thoughts on the conversation? Loving the skin I'm in.
Loving the skin that you're in. There is no blueprint to the perfect person, be it man, woman, child, or whatever. So whoever you are, whatever it takes to make you amazing, whatever it takes to fully embody who you are on the inside, to where you're happy with the person in the mirror no matter what, that's what we need to do. And that it's truly empowering when you can empower somebody else. And don't let anybody else write your story. You be the author.
All right. Miss Jana, what are your final thoughts?
So I have a quote on my Facebook page that says, I am a designer's original. And so I feel like it's important for everyone to realize that you are a designer's original, and everyone has something unique that, you know, that can help influence someone else. So I feel like it's very important to understand that physical can change, but, you know, don't get wrapped up in that. You know, just love who you are. If you see a change that you want to make the change for you, not because of what other people say and not because of what you've heard. And, you know, we're fearfully and wonderfully made, so embrace you.
Okay. What you got, Solar?
I wanted to say that one of the best teachings that I've heard from the minister, Elijah Muhammad, is to settle on the best part of people. And with that being said, you have to look past the physical appearance. You know, you have to really take the time out to get to know the person. If the physical draws you in, then you have to have more. You know what I'm saying? Once you get there, you have to have a plan. You have to, you know, what is this person truly about? And, you know, everybody is not going to, you know, make all the checks on your checklist. But you have to settle on the best part of people, period. Like, you know, take their flaws, leave them behind, because everybody has, you know, something good to offer or something to offer. That's all I got.
You think so?
Yeah, I do.
You sound like Trump. Those is good people on the other side. I'm just playing.
Lord,
I'm just playing. You know, I gotta be silly.
I know. I sound like Trump. I'm offended. I am highly offended.
I'm just playing. I'm sorry.
You should have a drink.
Maybe 10.
I take a bottle for 200, Alex.
All right. Okay. So, my final thoughts on loving the skin I'm in, I would have to say that you got to know who you are and who you aspire to be. If you have some hang-ups about who you are, work on you. That's all. And love yourself in the process, but work on you. every day I'm looking to see what I can do better. I need to work on the physical a whole lot more. The spiritual, the mental, emotional, financial, all of it needs work. But continue working and just get better and better and better in whatever it is. Set goals for yourself, because everybody is not going to wake up and love the skin that they're in. But you can set goals. Embrace your natural self, your authentic self, and I mean your spirit, the authenticity of who you are, your soul. And if that's not in order, fix it. Work on it. If you know that you have some personality flaws, work on it. If you know that you need some work spiritually, put in the time spiritually. If physically you are not feeling yourself, do what you can. And then in the process, love you. Because you're never going to look like her or her. Mm-hmm. So learn to love her. So all of us have something, like all of you have said, to bring to the table, and have, everybody has something. But you got to tap into that part of you that you know is good, and bring that out and start there. Whatever it is that is your strong suit, pay attention to that and put more in that, because that's going to make you feel better about yourself. And in the meantime, work on the areas that you're not so comfortable about. Like for me personally, I have, I'm trying to learn how to listen better. And I'm trying to learn how to be a better friend. So I work on that. I try to listen when people talk to me and really take it in, and not be so quick to jump and respond, because if I'm doing that, then I'm not really listening. That's a character flaw that I want to be better at. I want to, there's a lot. I can name a million things that I need to work on with myself. But my point is when you wake up in the morning, love who you are, and then just work to be better. One of the things that I saw, I was watching a clip, and I forgot who said it. It's an actor. Y'all know I don't watch movies and TV, so I'm not going to know his name, but y'all probably get it. Real popular white dude with a real southern talk, real southern. Was he? Anyway, I'll tell y'all. Anyway. But what he said was, somebody asked him who is his hero. And he said he was like, give me a couple of days to think about that. And then he came back and he was like, so did you figure it out? He was like, yeah, I'm my own hero in 10 years. And I thought that was so inspiring, because what he said is, in 10 years, I'm going to be 10 years better than I am today. But then when I go from 20 to 30, when I was 20, that's who I wanted to be. But when I get 30, I want to be that at 40. And so to me, it just said, like, you just keep getting better and better and better and better and better. Mm-hmm. And you work at yourself. But in the meantime, because you know that you are working your goals and your life plan, you love yourself in the meantime. So that's my thoughts on loving the skin I'm in. I got a couple announcements for you, and then we're out. So this weekend, of course, we're going to do our thing. Come hang out with us. We have, oh, Lord. I'm always messing up announcements.
Auntie, while you look for that, I wanted to add one thing, too.
Please do. That's going to buy me some time.
It's important to remember that it is okay to have those bad days and those days where you feel fat and ugly. We're human. It's going to happen. But the other part of that is, there is nothing so bad that, in my opinion, there's nothing so bad that should make you want to take your life. There are so many people who are around who love you. There are people who you can talk to. So just please don't let it get to the point where it makes you want to do something like that.
I agree 1,000%. Very well said. And could you keep talking until I can find my flyer? Because you could say something else about that. So I'm not sure if we have our Thursday show tomorrow. The teen scene will reconvene. Are we coming back at the end of September or in October?
Based off of speaking with Miss
Jamie.
It looks like it'll be October unless we do something.
Okay. So the teen scene will reconvene in October on Wednesdays. So just be mindful of that. Thursdays, we usually have our A Man's Point of View at Brick House Lounge. This Thursday we will not, because we do have a special event. It's called the Artful Platform Presents Artful Trilogy. So we're doing a cooking demonstration and music and a mixer, and it's just going to be real cool. Something very, very different. And it says Food and Drinking Network. So, okay, that's what we're doing Thursday. Friday, we have Natural Change, which is one of my favorite bands. Looking forward to that. And so, yeah, y'all come hang out with us. And then special things coming up. We have I'm so excited about this. Next weekend, we have our Black and White party on Saturday. And then on Sunday, we're doing our family reunion. So the family reunion concept is get all your folks. Y'all get T-shirts alike. And y'all come hang out. And whoever has the largest group, Brick House is going to throw that group a party on us. For your group, a free party. We're going to give you platters and bottles, and we're just going to have a good time. Oh, wow. So, yep, I'm kind of excited about that, too. So, that's what we got going on at the house. So, y'all stay plugged in. High Vibe Media, make sure you all pay attention to what's going on. Our weekly lineup is we do have sports rehab on Wednesdays from 8:30 until 10 o'clock. And we have the Suave Show on Sundays. And then on Mondays, we have a new show called Straight from the Hip. They're funny. Just a couple sisters, real funny. They funny. So we're growing. We got some new stuff coming up. The teens seem to be coming back. We have the Blaquer The Berry. We have A Man's Point of View. So we got some stuff coming up. My son is getting ready to kind of be behind the scenes and doing some things to bring in a different perspective and some more youth to the network. So excited about that. We are working on his release party for his album. I would love for all of you all to show some love. Download him. He's on iTunes, Apple Music. Is that the same thing? I think so. Okay. He's on Spotify, SoundCloud, all of that stuff. So y'all look him up. Zion Iman, Forever Young is the name of his project. Is it Forever Young or Forever 19? How about y'all look it up? You'll find them. Zion Iman. So y'all, and then the release party will be September 27th, and I'll get you some details about that. That's our time tonight at the Blaquer The Berry here at the Vibe. We holla at y'all later. Peace.
Thanks for having us, Auntie.
Thanks for the
so
invite.
Awesome, awesome. There are so many different. We're still on.
That's okay though.
There were so many